We're going to start off with, it's been a wonderful time in ISED. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. We're going to start off with a welcome address from our wonderful president. And for some of you, your own personal instructor. She is a leader, a mother, a pastor in her spare time. And we're so excited to have her here. She really is the originator of everything that we're doing. And none of us really would be here without her presence. So I'm going to welcome to speak to us all right now, Dr. Joy Isa.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate all of you. It's such an honor and a pleasure, honestly, for me to have been part of your learning journeys. Thank you for giving me the privilege and the opportunity to just, be part of your journey. I'm honored. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted at all. So I know it's not about me today. It's about all of us who have completed this. So I want to share a couple thoughts with us. A couple of my favorite quotes from fellow teachers and instructors. Some of them are big motivational speakers. Some of them are not well known, but just a few thoughts to welcome us and encourage us to continue our learning journey. So William Ward says, teaching is more than imparting knowledge. It is inspiring change. All through your journey, we have said teachers are people who can inspire. They're people who can catalyze change. It's not just about absorbing a bunch of facts. It's about getting your students to acquire understanding, getting them to understand the reason, like in French, you say la raison d'être, the reason for being alive, the reason for being part of a community, and then getting them to learn knowledge and skills that they can use to influence that community. So as educators, as teachers, you and I are those who have that unique privilege. Setting my timer here so I don't talk too much. Those who have that unique privilege of contributing to people, inspiring change and making a difference. So that really should be our focus as we move on. We have that at the back of our mind, that our job is not just to communicate a bunch of facts for our students to absorb, is to facilitate the learning so that our students are inspired to lead. They're inspired to influence the communities. They're inspired to make a difference. I love this quote by Darwin Martin. It says, a teacher's job is to take a bunch of live wires, and ensure and see that they are well-grounded. Well, first off, we hope at ISED that we have taken, we've shared some very interesting concepts and ideas that have made some people's, charge just go, whoa, what is happening here? And we hope that we've been able to ground you in your understanding to say, yes, whether you were looking at how students think, understanding the reason behind the science behind thinking in metacognition, or looking at the need to differentiate the learning, or ensuring that your planning is tight, or ensuring that you're leading your community safely, that there are safeguarding principles and things put in place. All those are live wires, thoughts just roaming around. Understanding that our job is to get all that thinking grounded. I think it's just a great way to review what we do as educators. There's nothing wrong with being supercharged. There's nothing wrong with having fantastic ideas, but how do we ground them? And for us as educators, how do we locate them in our unique context? We've looked at, that there's so many ideals and ideas and principles, ideologies that come in from the West, coming from, different cultures where some of us went to school. And sometimes these can clash with the school culture. But our goal is really to ensure that we are grounded, that we understand that life evolves. We understand that learning is continuous. It is not it's not fixed. And we take all those ideas and we ground them. I really love that idea. And for your students, really, you know how it is when children come to class and they're all supercharged and excited. Sometimes maybe after a holiday, or maybe there was a competition, sports day, and they're winning house, and all those children are all, supercharged. Or somebody had a birthday and they shared some sweets and everybody's up in arms. We understand what that looks like. We also know that it's part of our job to settle our students down, keep them well grounded so that they can thrive, so that they don't run riot with those fantastic ideas, but they stay with them, they learn, and they're consistent. We know that you require consistency in that place of use to build skill. So if, for example, you're exercising, if you don't go consistently, you won't build the skill. If you're learning your times tables, for example, your numerical facts, if you don't consistently apply them, we won't remember them, we won't build the skill. So that's our job, you and I. Take all that and ground them. I really love that quote by Darwin Martin. Another one I really love is a quote by Joyce Meyer, another great teacher. She says, "Teachers can change lives with just the right mix of chalk and challenges." Now you can tell she's an old school teacher. I think she's in her late 80s right now. We have the responsibility to find that right mix of chalk and challenges. If we don't challenge our children's thinking, they don't learn. If we don't challenge the status quo, we don't get them to learn how to think, learn how to process information, we might as well be raising robots. And so, as educators, we really hope and believe that as you have invested all this time, some of you have been with us for 12 solid weeks. Shout out to all the people who took the leadership courses, 12 long weeks of hard labor. As we like to say, reading assignments, discussion posts, watching videos, reflecting, attending live classes for 12 weeks. We hope we have given you the right mix of chalk and challenge, and we've been able to inspire you to think about your learning, think about what you do in a different way. Part of our belief or our hope, our expectation, is that you will also take this right mix of chalk and challenge to your classes, to your schools. As school leaders, you'll take the information, the knowledge back to your teams and say, look, we need to learn differently. We need to embrace technology and be able to apply the use of technology in our everyday lives. We need to embrace challenges because challenges help us grow. Challenges are not obstacles, they're challenges, and I like to see them as stepping stones, not as stumbling blocks. So challenges are stones that we can step on to rise up. And imagine if you're climbing uphill, right, on a couple steps. It takes effort to go from level 1 to, when you're tired, you're stressed, you now have to keep climbing level 2, and you rest a bit and you go up level 3. That is how I see challenges in the field of education. COVID came, major challenge, but a lot of us rose up. A lot of us stepped up. I mean, we're having a virtual graduation now. Before COVID, most people would have been confused. What do you mean? Graduation online? No. But there's so much learning that's happening. Imagine if you all had to travel all the way from your different homes to come to our office in Lekki and have your live classes there, a 1-hour session, a 90-minute session. Imagine the traffic. Imagine the cost of petrol right now and all of that. So technology has come to stay. And this is a challenge that all of us as educators really need to embrace so that our lives are changed and the lives of our students are changed. Malcolm X, another great teacher who led lots of, should I say controversial opinions, but he was able to drive his point. He was a great teacher. And I love his quote about the fact that education is our passport to the future. And you and I have seen it, especially for those of us in Africa. we have seen that where there is a lack of education, the community kind of stays redundant, stays in the 19th century, in the 18th century. I was speaking to one of my learning colleagues, as I call us, and I was saying the way some of our teacher training colleges, some of our NCs carry on, the way the instructional strategies are shared, they belong in the 19th century. And I found a video that shares like a museum. So I think there's one from an American community, one from an Australian community, and they were sharing schools in the 1880s and 1870s. And I promise you, those schools look like some of our classes in the rural communities in Africa today. We have this teacher standing in front of the class with her stick, and you have the chalkboard with things written on it, and the children have to look and recite and copy into their notebooks. That is the education system that was adopted, yes, that was used by those who came in to colonize Africa, but they used that a long time ago, in the 1800s, in the 1870s, 1880s. In the 19th century, things were already changing. In the 2000s, which is the 21st century, my goodness, so much has evolved. Unfortunately, some of us are still kind of stuck in a rut and still stuck in the past. We need to evolve, we need to grow, we need to change so that we, not even the children, we are prepared today for our tomorrows. We need to be prepared today for our tomorrows. And that's why I like this quote. It's not only about the students, it is about you and I as educators. How prepared are we for tomorrow? How prepared are we to, drive our students tomorrow? So I really encourage you to look, think about what you're doing. This is supposed to be a welcome address, but in my usual fashion, I couldn't resist the urge to say, guys, think about what you're doing. We have to do things very, very differently. Someone says, can I share the videos? I will find a link and I will share them. I'll see if I can find the link immediately and post them in the chat room. But please prepare today for your tomorrow as an educator. It's not only about the children, but it is also about you. Thank you very much. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your learning journey. We're really, on behalf of the faculty and I, we really, really appreciate you and appreciate the trust you have placed in us. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Joy, for speaking and for sharing. Now we're going to move on to a course summary. We're going to try and brush over the incredible amount of work that everyone here has had to get through for the past couple of weeks. We want to ask that if you recognize any of the clips, any of those people speaking, you can just drop a quick comment in the chat if you remember any of the sections and things from your lessons. Let me make sure. Okay. I hope everyone can see my screen clearly. All right, fantastic. And so, yes, please let us know if you recognize any of the speakers, any of the topics, anything in particular that spoke to you when you were in that class, or anything you haven't heard before that you find really interesting now and you'd like to highlight. Feel free.
The purpose of the skills, the challenging task, like it says on the presentation, is to move a new skill from being laborious to being sleek and automatic. So you're teaching them something new. The elements of effective lesson planning fit around the well-structured lesson. Appreciate the difference between lesson pace and speed. That's something I love. And of course, be aware of the importance of your input before the pupil's expected output. In other words, assessments. What assessment should look like, how it should go, your role, the student's role.
you've got embedded why it worked, because we role modeled a lot of the behavior that we wanted to see. So in terms of managing that transition, I think I've talked about equity before. There has to be equity in what you do. You taught and I taught as well. And I think part of managing that change is role modeling the sorts of behaviors you want people to buy into.
Found in my experience over the years that a lot of teachers look at differentiation as planning for those who are slower. But those children who are faster, who are more able, are often bored in class.
The employees come on board with this mentality of just wanting, what's in it for me, what's in it for me, and just wanting to take out of the business without that consciousness of it's a give and take. I give in something, and in return, something is paid to me.
Task and engagement and the application in classes, there's a lot that we are empowered and able to do now. However, I want to help us understand that task a little better.
Well, this in a minute. Complex systems are actually based on very, very simple rules. And I think once you establish some of those very simple rules, such as value added, for one, punctuality being another one, and the incipient work ethic that was there, I think grew very strongly on the back of those simple rules, because you could see with a very fair system like value added, the management team had no favorites, there were no cliques and so on and so forth. And therefore it meant that people's work ethic grew far more proportionally.
When you have to retell a story in your own words, fantastic. It checks whether you really understood that story. I remember using that all the time. Every story, for the younger ones especially, get them to retell the story in their own words. It shows you whether they understood the moral of the story.
Whatever you do to a child, Montessori says it stays in the soul of the child, not in the memory of the child. So it stays in the mind, it stays in the soul, it stays in the emotions.
Yes.
So it becomes the identity. It becomes who the child is.
The planning and monitoring, how are you able to determine at what point do you begin to mark and track progress? At what point do you begin to improve, escalate, or accelerate, or simplify? And then when do you begin to refine your practice? And how are you able to teach your learners this skill?
I want to be able to give to other people. That's why I went on to certify as a strengths coach. So what 15 Strengths does is it says everybody's great at something.
Okay.
Let's bring that to the forefront.
You don't have to be the one to stand and talk all the time.
What about people who have made a shipwreck of their family, of their finances, of everything? Please note, everything begins from childhood. I say life begins and ends in childhood.
We need to give our students more opportunities to hit higher levels of thinking.
So I think about leadership, and for me, leadership means working in a capacity where you are steering a group of people towards a common goal.
And it was really enlightening for me to see the impact leadership can have in any organization, but more importantly in a school. The impacts that you and I as educators, as leaders of our classrooms, leaders of small groups, leaders of schools can have the impact. And so it was important for me to find the resources, to pull resources together to bring professional development to our doorstep.
Authenticity, inspirational, and consistency. I think that those are great landmarks for authentic and great leaders.
I want to take my level of understanding about teaching and learning to another level. So I really, really want to tap into that level whereby I'll be able to develop the new generation of learners that we have, so that at least the global practice, the global standard that is required of everyone, I'm able to plug in to that level.
When you treat a child that way, you are endangering society.
Yes.
4 things that you want your staff to be doing: distinguishing, relating, deconstructing, and getting perspectives on things.
I loved looking at the comments and just seeing everyone recognize different sections and different professors is fantastic. It was incredible to see the clips as as the back end person here. I think it was wonderful just watching some of the material and watching everyone really interact with the information and the lessons and the realizations during classes. I think it was great for me to see as a person, and I really hope that it was all enriching for you. Kind of get a course summary. We're now going to move on to some of our student speakers. We asked some people to come and represent and share their own personal experiences with us and with yourselves as well. Hopefully they fairly represent what your experience was like. And I'm going to welcome first to the forefront, Mrs. Orubo. I believe she's in the room.
Yes, I am.
Good morning. Okay, the floor is yours. You can start whenever you're ready.
I think
Is that
you're
me?
muted. Yes. Go ahead, please, Grace.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Yes, same here.
Can we spotlight her video?
You're fine, we can see you. You can continue.
All right. So I'm supposed to talk about 2 key learning points in this course. My name is Grace Urugu. I just finished leading quality assurance in schools in Africa with ISED. And 2 key learning points for me is the importance of quality assurance in the school. Quality assurance is important because it helps to manage the performance of teachers, and it also helps leaders to look at the school holistically, to know how the different processes or the different systems come together to form the school. So, and it helps us to pay attention to developing and becoming better. Also, a good quality assurance system, when implemented, helps the teachers to professionally improve their practice, because they will be reflecting on their practice and know how to be better. Also, for me, one major problem that implementing a quality assurance in our school has solved is it has greatly reduced high teacher turnover. The teachers are more motivated, and they are happy. You can see it when teachers are happy. Also, we learned how to support. How we change our roles from just directing, criticizing, and making it like a support system for the teachers. And at the end of the day, it's transferred to the children, because the children get to benefit from that. So my area of application, I've been able to implement it, like I said. When I started the course, it looked like a cumbersome thing that I would not be able to put in place. However, while meeting and discussing with my colleagues, I was able to see that it's actually very simple, and I've been able to implement. I also enjoyed the fact that we reviewed each other's work. So it helps us to see other people's points of view. It helps us to learn from them, learn from their own scenarios in their various schools and all. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
So some people in the comments saying that, oh, my course mate, that you come to represent them. They're so excited. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes.
Adikas was one of the first ones. Yes.
I think it's just lovely what you said about how starting off, it felt as though things might be cumbersome, but being able to interact with other people's experiences, you are able to apply them in your own circumstances. And I think that's just fantastic. And I'm so happy for you. Okay,
Thank you.
let's move on to the next speaker. Mrs. Daniels. I believe she's in the room.
Live and direct. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gwemisola Daniels from Understanding Leadership and Management. Should I continue, please?
Yes, continue.
Okay, thank you. And okay, where do I start? I did a little bit of rehearsal, and yes, I'm fidgeting. Apologies for that. Yeah, so good morning once again. I must say that I'm very delighted to do this at this time. Thank you so much, Dr. Mrs. Issa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really do not even know where to begin. Thank you, amazing learning partners. You made it very easy. You made it very easy. Thank you so much. Reading through all our comments, all the feedback, suggestions, Dr. Issa's feedback from time to time made it seem like we were having physical classes. Didn't seem like the online classes. Usually we're thinking, oh, online classes would be boring and all that tasking, whatever. But it was really seamless. It was fun. It was amazing. Yes, my learning summary. When I started the course, I, in a way, wasn't quite sure what I would come out with. But knowing that, yes, I could trust Dr. Issa, really, I just knew I could trust whatever it was she would give to us. I decided to give it my best. Did I give my best at the end? I think I did. Yeah, so I learned quite a lot of things that I also applied, not just in my professional life, but also in my personal life. Like I said during one of my one-on-one sessions with Dr. said before now, when I get off at home and I see anything not right, the boys know just to run. Once you see the face, you just know to run. But these days, something is happening, and I'm looking at you, I'm smiling, and I'm saying things like, not to worry, we'll discuss this very soon. And once they hear that, they know to quickly find a way to right their wrongs. And then when we're discussing it, coming from a place of a better understanding, I'm not reacting anymore. I'm actually simply responding. And at work as well, it's been very amazing, very amazing. Now I see that I truly listen. I've always heard before that, yes, I could be very interesting. Yes, very interesting. But I see that now I truly listen. And I'm listening, I'm asking questions. And I'm asking things like, oh, do you really mean this? Is this what you actually planned to say? This particular words, do you really, yes, did you think about this? Was this what you wanted me to hear? Is it what you're thinking about? And then really, it helped me become more, what's the word now? I wouldn't say approachable. I've always been very approachable. I'm always smiling, even when I feel like breaking things. Yes, I'm always smiling. Yes, it really helped me to bring out the best in people. We learned about the Clifton strengths, and we had to take the assessments. After the assessments, we had the debriefing session. And at that point, I realized that, yes, many a times when I'm in my own head, very nice, I'm pushing and pushing, the other person might just be satisfied with whatever he or she has done. And then it made me realize that I could really be pushing people more than they really wanted to do. I could be giving them more than they wanted to achieve. And so I learned to really listen to people's unsaid or unspoken desires, really find out what they really wanted to achieve, and then lead from that perspective, not from what I am saying. I know it comes across to me personally very easily to say, no, you can do better. You're amazing. You're smart. You're this, you're that. And the other person is feeling, oh my goodness, I've come this far. I'm fine. I'm okay. And I'm there pushing and pushing, making them feel less. So I've learned to really just say, oh, wow, this is fantastic. You're doing great. Would you want to do more? Or is this just fine? And once the person says, oh, I'm good with this. Okay, fantastic. That's good. And I just move on to the next project, looking for someone else who will take the work further. Yes, and then we also learned during the leadership maze and emotional intelligence. Oh my goodness, very, very amazing, very amazing. we used to think that, okay, because you don't shout at people at work, because at work you're approachable, then it might just mean that you're emotionally intelligent. No, it doesn't work like that. Do we actually, yes, own our feelings? Do we actually understand why we're doing certain things? And then in a way, it made me begin to question my reasons for doing things, my reasons for actually smiling all the time. It also made me become more open. And I then became better at saying, oh, really, I haven't done this before. Being a leader doesn't necessarily mean that you have all the answers. So I learned to be able to actually say, oh, really? I do not know about this. So how do you think we should do it? Have you done this before? Oh, you have. Fantastic. Please come share. Explain to me. Oh, really? Okay. So can we research? Can we ask other people? And yes, now it's very, very amazing, I must say, very amazing. Last term, second term, I had my first ever board meeting, And by the time I finished, prior to the board meeting, I had spoken with my colleagues at work. I had said, oh, so we have this board meeting. I'm going over to represent you. And surprisingly, they were all cheering me on. Oh, don't worry, we trust you. Not to worry. We know you would say this. We know you will say this. Not one person came across as, being scared, that I might say something against him or her, even those who knew they really did deserve it. Not one person came across thinking, oh, maybe she would go there and then, hurt me or shoot me or something. And after all said and done, the board members were the ones assuring me. I was shocked because ordinarily from the little I had heard from my superiors in time past, when you're going for a board meeting, you're scared, you do not know what's to come, what the outcome would be. But by the time I finished analyzing all that I had been able to do with my team members, all the things they had accomplished, everything, the board members were assuring me that, this is amazing, this is that, not to worry. Yes, we know you would get that. We know your team would do more. We know this would happen. We know this would happen. And really, I must say, understanding leadership and management, wow. I really do not know how to put it into words. Transformational leadership is really where I am right now. I'm so happy. I'm seeing my team members coming back to say, oh, yes, Ms. Rady Daniels, thank you. Yes, so I applied for this particular program. Oh, I did take this course. Oh, so now I have this added certificate. And I'm thinking, really? And someone is saying, oh, thank you so much. You pushed me to do more. I'm learning a lot from you. So I had to get a loan to buy a new laptop so I could do more. And I'm wondering, excuse me, how? Really, thank you so much, the ISED thing. Thank you so much, my learning partners. Thank you so much to everyone for making this journey very amazing. We sincerely appreciate you. Thank you. And that's it from my end. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. I couldn't help myself. I started dropping comments in the chat. So I'm just like, oh, meeting people where they are, being able to really grow as a person, understanding your emotional intelligence and where you are. I think it's just, those are wonderful, wonderful points. I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
For participating and engaging and really, really, delving into the content with us. We're so happy to have had all of you, everyone here. Thank you so much. Okay. So we now have our final speaker who has sent in a video for us to watch. Let me share. Right, so everyone can see my screen. Okay, fantastic.
Hello, my name is Nancy Omabala. I just concluded a program on leading pastoral care in schools from the ISED School of Education, and I must say that it was an awesome learning journey. Firstly, I noted that the content of the program was easy to follow. I loved that lots of case studies were used to illustrate the topics. Also that the issues that were raised were relevant to the present times in the world, and more specifically in Africa. For example, the course revealed that some of the child-raising practices that we see in our communities and have even experienced in childhood were proven to be abusive. The responsibility of us as school leaders and agents of change in intervening on behalf of our students and promoting good safeguarding practices were emphasized. We were also charged to educate our staff, our parents, and members of our communities about appropriate child raising practices. Other memorable moments for me were the very loaded sessions with Barrister Taiwo. I will never forget them. The fact that he was able to look back at his past and draw positive motivation from negative childhood moments and then go ahead to facilitate a movement for better child raising practices in Africa is completely inspiring. The program has certainly opened my eyes to more subtle abuse and safeguarding issues that I would not have noticed otherwise. Truly, this program would not have come in at a better time for my school, as we are currently reviewing our policies for the next session. So the pastoral care plan for my school will definitely draw from the content of this program. On a more personal level, the program has revealed that for me to be a better parent to my kids, for me to be a better teacher to my students, a better colleague to my co-workers, a better friend and a better sister, I would need to look beyond the physical to my mental and psychological health, and if need be, I need to seek professional help to ensure that I'm healthy enough to be a wonderful individual to people around me. I thank Dr. Isa for her simplicity, for her encouragement, for creating a safe space where we were free to express ourselves and even be vulnerable. I thank the ISED admin staff for their prompt and friendly responses throughout the program. I look forward to taking another course with the school in the nearest future. Thank you and congratulations to all the graduates.
All right. I just want to say once again, a quick thank you to all our student speakers for just being so brave and sharing your personal experiences with us. It's fantastic feedback for us, myself as admin staff, and for all the instructors who are here today to just kind of to see the impact that they're having and to be able to witness the experiences that you guys are having. So we're so incredibly grateful. Thank you so much for being brave enough to share. Right now, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Joy.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, in thinking about the program, I was wondering, who do I ask to come and share? Who do I ask, who do I invite to come and speak with us? Because usually, you should have a keynote speaker or someone at the event. And I remember this amazing learning colleague of mine that I want to introduce. Now, I've worked with her for many, many years, and she has been an example of how when you improve yourself, the society has to change to accommodate you. And she has not waited for her institution to help her improve, but she has taken on this journey of personal, professional development to the next level. And that has exponentially, increased her career journey. So I invited her to share with us this treasure, this journey, to just share from her journey so that we might do one or two things as we improve ourselves. Please join me and welcome my dear friend and learning colleague and mentee, Miss Veronica Modi, who is currently heading Holden Park School, and Ms. V, as I like to call her. You are very welcome. The floor is yours.
Okay. Good morning, Mrs. Isa. Good morning, dear admin, and good morning, all my colleagues here. Yes, we're all colleagues and leaders. I'm so excited to be here. When I got the call that I was going to be a keynote speaker, I was like, okay, this is interesting. To share, my experience, my journey so far as a teacher, and then as a learner, and now as a leader. I must say, it's a great privilege for me to be here. And I would say congratulations, first of all, to every single leader here who has, engaged this opportunity to learn, to be better. Because sincerely, I was actually speaking to a colleague who is also a leader in our school. I said, Nigeria is blessed because we have so many people who are passionate about education. But I look forward to Nigeria having quality leaders in schools. You know, we're a country where we have so many schools, but we don't have so many quality schools, and it's a function of the leadership that we have in there. That's our problem. You know, someone asked me, would I want to open a school? I said, no, I think we have enough schools in Nigeria. Right now, I think the current schools that we have, if they have better leadership structures, regardless of our economy, regardless of the policies of Nigeria, I think we're better off as a nation. So if you're out there and you're part of me in this push of registering more schools, I don't think we need more schools. I think the current ones that we have should be better with leadership and learning. Now, my journey as first as a learner and a teacher and a leader, I would say it's one of so many challenges, but good challenges, challenges that made me better. A journey where I've learned to just embrace everything and anything as it comes. I've never had the mindset of anything is too much for me to do. I've never had the mindset of they're not paying me enough, you know, and I think that's one problem that we have in the education space. So many teachers are quick to think about the salaries side by side benefits of the job. We always say we're not valued, we're poorly paid, we suffer abuse from parents and children. Oh, we have a leadership or school management that is so impatient, giving so little, minimal in terms of resources and demanding so much. Oh, the economy is so harsh, and all of that. And we allow that to cloud us. And we forget that this is a job on its own. And we applied for the job, we're not forced into it. And so, and the KPIs were clear, and we embraced it. So regardless of whether or not it's an oil servicing company or a bank, it is an excellent job. It's a worthwhile source of living. You know, so I ensured that I made sure I did not allow my mind to even think of that. Now, my mom is a teacher, so I came from a background where one of my parents happens to be a teacher. But beyond that, I just quickly allowed myself to settle into it. So I'll mention some of the things that helped me to grow in my leadership journey. Number one, God, I can't take that away. He's supreme. He's been my guide, my support, and every single thing. Then I also owe it to mentors and sponsors. Now, I'll talk about each of these individuals, mentors and sponsors, professional colleagues within my work environment, as well as outside my work environment. Then I'll also owe it to my willingness to invest in myself, first as a teacher and as a leader. I also speak about open-mindedness. Open-mindedness is very key for us as leaders. We must be open-minded and willing, you know, to grow, willing to, you know, to learn. So I'll encourage us, because sincerely, in the work environment, you meet so many people. You're there, but just be your best. Now, I'll cite my very first opportunity of leading in some capacity. And that was my very first school 20 years ago. It was actually a primary school. And I was brought in to teach primary 5 and 6. I was teaching English, math, and science. Then for some reason, the owner of the school just saw it as a right for him, his wife was part of the crew, to give me the role of managing children paying school fees. And I was wondering, why would he give me that? Now, he quickly picked up that I had good admin skills. I was good with documentation. I was good with keeping records. I was good with tracking things, monitoring. I was very good with that. So, you know, my background as a science student, and I was very good with my math, statistics. So that was something that I love to do, taking records, analysis, and all that. I was a bit passionate about that. So then, before long, he began to allow me handle assemblies, and I was like, okay, why am I handling assemblies? I said, I like the way you coordinate the children. Now, I didn't really see much in that, but I was just doing it as I want to be my best. You know, I want things, and I have a knack for doing things right. I guess that's my melancholic side. Doing things right. I don't like the straight line has to be straight, you know. When the kids come into school, I'm the one checking their uniforms, the tie properly placed. Are you speaking right? Are you, you know, all of that. So the owner of the school quickly picked that up. Now, I must mention in that school, they were owing us salaries. The man would never pay, you know. 2 months, he's pushing it on and all of that. But I never allowed that to cloud me. I'll come in early. We resumed 7:15. I was there 7 on the dot. Get into my class, arrange my class. I'm up and running at the gate. I'm doing everything. I close at the right time. And I never allowed the fact that he was owing salaries, to disturb me. Now, I also mentioned that there's a lot of small talk in the workspace. And as leaders or learners, you must be wary of such. Teachers have a habit of crowding in classrooms and speaking all sorts. You're speaking against the management, and what you don't know is that the management will hear. They know, they see. You may think they don't. They know, they see. They watch your body language. All of this man was watching. He always felt this lady just had the right language around her. So when I see them in that corner, the usual chit chat, I exclude myself. I'm sorry, I have things to do. And they're like, you are such a workaholic. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be found in this because, when Africa, people say things and I won't be there to defend myself. I said, sorry, I'm not part. I know he's owing us. You all believe it's a lie. He doesn't want to pay. I said, whatever reasons he has, as far as I'm concerned, this man will pay us and we'll get our money. I spent about 9 months in that school. And I must say, I was the only person this man paid his salaries to the very last. I don't know how it happened. When I resigned, I got an admission to Unilag to do my master's. So I approached him and he just said, okay, I'll pay you up. And he paid every single dime he was owing me. So I left to another school and of course registered for my program. Another school as well, I still continued with the same right mindset, right practice. And the management did not cease to notice. Now I must talk about professional colleagues. As leaders, we must learn to surround ourselves with the right kind of people. People that share your vision, people that share the mindset, because that's where the exposure comes from. Part of me, taking advantage of courses was from exposure. I met mentors like Pastor Mrs. Isa, who's here. And there's so many of them, colleagues who were at the same level with me. The kind of conversations they normally will have. Hi, girl, have you heard? There's this free program on Coursera. There's something on Allison.com. There's something happening here. Oh, APEN is doing that. And we would go, and it was all on our own cost. And I must also emphasize that on our own cost. It was not funded by the school where we were working. It was not funded by anybody. We took from our little salaries, to go for these programs. Save up, get, some of us went to get loans, but some of us found a way of doing this contribution that's commonly called susu. And you lift yours. When you get yours, you channel it into improving yourself. So that was very, very key. Now, mentors and sponsors help you move up faster on the ladder. And I must encourage us as leaders, you must have mentors and sponsors. They're the ones that will recommend you. They're the ones that will advise you. When you're about to take a step and you're talking to someone who's older in the field, they'll tell you, no, it's not, don't take this step now. And you must be willing to listen and follow through what they're telling you to do. It's very important. Sponsors, not necessarily paying the money, but a sponsor is just one who opens the door for you. I've had sponsors in my life. People who told someone somewhere that there's a lady somewhere who can do this job, right? And then you just take advantage of the opportunity. So sponsors and mentors are so very, very key. Now I'll talk about harnessing opportunities. Now I must say this, the school environment is such that you never have a definite KPI. And that is the truth. You are called as a science teacher, a math teacher. But if you look at your day, you're doing beyond just a math and science teacher. Now, the question I'm going to ask is, when those opportunities come, how do you take advantage of them? What do you do with them? Do you do a shoddy job? You just do the minimal, the borders are just slanting, the colors are jamming everywhere. You take out time to give in the best in those opportunities. There's a program in school, prize giving day, and you're part of a crew. Are you the relevant one? Are you the one who's at the forefront? Or are you the excess luggage, the one they always have to remind that there is a meeting, the one they have to remind to collate the list, the one they have to tell to do all of that? So any opportunity you're given, take advantage of it. And that was one thing that helped me. So in one of my schools, I was made the exams liaison officer. There was no salary attached to me, by the way. So I was going to British Council to find out, because my school then wanted to begin to run the Cambridge curriculum. We knew nothing about it. That was my first contact with the Cambridge curriculum. And my head of school then, she's late now, wanted us to bring that in. And she said, Veronica, I think you should be the one. Now I wondered why I was chosen. I don't know. there's definitely something she saw again, like the previous people. So, and of course, wait, they won't even give me transport money on my own. I'll say, Ma, can I quickly run to British Council, get this for us? When I come back, I'll organize the information I have, print things out, type things up, just tidy them, and I'll bring it to her table, and we're discussing, I'm not just the one that'll come back and just dump it for her and walk away. No, I'll follow up the trail. Okay, Veronica, next week again, you're going, yes, Ma, I'll be there. Get this information, organize it. But while I was doing that, I was learning. I was reading through the materials. I wasn't just the newspaper headline who was announcing information I got from British Council, but I was learning about it so much so that the school became dependent on me to liaise with British Council. So I was named the liaison officer. Now, by the way, there was no letter of employment attached to it, and there was no salary. It was just in the air that I was the liaison officer. So when they say who's going to be, oh, Miss Modi, go there. Now, I couldn't reference that just yet in my CV, right? But it's an experience I was gaining. I was sharpening my skills, and that was what threw me straight into the international curriculum. Then of course I was examining for WAEC and NECO. The salary, the money was very small, but I was gaining experience, learning more about the WAEC curriculum, what it's about, how to mark, how to teach. Now coming to the classroom, I'm meeting children. All the schools I've worked in were inclusive schools. None of them were tailored to a particular group of children. So I had different kind of children in my environment. And the same way I saw how I was given opportunity, I began to also give the children an opportunity to lead. So you assign roles. You're the one to wipe the board. Okay, you're the one who greets in front of the class. I also learned to begin to empower the children in my classroom because I was grateful for the opportunities I was given. So the children in my classroom were also another, I'll use the word, a guinea pig for me to practice my leadership, how to coordinate them, how to work with them, manage their excesses, manage their quarrels, because they do quarrel, children quarrel, when they have they rub off on each other on the negative side and they come to me all teary and I'm like, oh, calm down. Can we talk about this now? How do you think? How do you feel? How do you feel? And they settle, and so just these things began to help me to brush myself up. Now, by the way, I was doing this unconsciously. I never knew I was going to become a leader, in quotes, as in a school leader. I just felt, oh, this is my own small space, my world in the classroom. I should manage the children well. They should be happy when they come into school. They should matter, in the classroom where they were in. I met so many special needs children who were from deprived homes, children who were coming from abusive homes. I remember a child who I met. She lost her mom at birth. She was the mom. I think mom was a sickler and had her and passed. And she was experiencing abuse in quotes, abuse from her stepmom. And on one occasion, I spoke to the girl. I said, "Look, your mindset towards this woman is my challenge. I think the problem you're having with her is because you have the wrong mindset. If you correct that mindset, your engagement with her will be better." I didn't know where that came from, but that was just what I felt I should tell her. Because she kept complaining, the woman will starve me, does not give me food. And I said, let me ask you a question. If she were to be your biological mom, will you find this hard? Will you find it difficult? Will you blame her? Will you hate her? She said, no. I said, because you have not embraced her as your mom. Embrace her as your mother. You would see that the things she does to you will not matter. And that is a key thing for us as leaders. We must ensure that we have the right mindset to the structures that we are grooming or the structures we're building and the management we're working with. I'll say management because you have your directors, you have the board, right? Top level management. The right mindset will help you work with them. When they're giving you objectives, their aims clear before you, if you have the right mindset and you don't see it as they are trying to talk down on you, or they're trying to mistreat you, or they're trying to use you, as many of us see it as, you would rarely walk away from school drained and unhappy. You must have the right mindset. As a leader, you must have the right mindset. And I'll speak about the last part, and that is willingness to invest in myself. Now, I know the monies are not there. The latest news now is subsidy removal, right? But you can't take it away. You must be willing to invest in yourself. You must be willing. There's no one going to do it for you. There is no management that has any money saved up somewhere for you to attend the kind of leadership program or the training courses or teacher training courses that will benefit you. That's the truth, because every single school will tailor their training to their needs, and it's never personalized. And that's what I realized early, right? So if the one they've planned for that particular academic year works well for you, fine and good, but it's never specific to you. You're the one to identify the training that you need and get it right. Speaking skills. I recently began to follow, there's this lady that does elocution, online, she just talks about diction. I'm like, I need to also look in that area because the exposure is becoming bigger, right? I'm dealing with children from different backgrounds. I want to be able to communicate well. They should be able to hear me and understand what I'm saying. So as simple as improving your diction, I've identified that area for myself. I think I need to work on that area. You need to do probably a training about dressing, as simple as it is, because you need to dress the part. There's a part to leadership. I must emphasize that here. And I know Mrs. Issa will agree with me. There's a part with dressing. The way you dress as a leader matters, right? You must dress. Of course, I'm not saying wear all the gele and all the jewelry and everything, but smart, professional dressing is so, so important. Because when the conversations begin to happen behind the curtains and the management, they're speaking about who to assign to a role, they also consider that. They consider your work ethics. How are you in the classroom? Are you the one who would always fight management? Right? These are things they look into. Then your results. Are children doing well in your classroom? So these are part of the things that have actually helped me in my progression journey. So I moved on from that primary school on to secondary school fully, and of course, then on and on till I took up middle management roles, HOD, curriculum leader, an exams officer, vocational program leader, and then director of studies. I moved on to a vice principal, and currently I'm an assistant head of school in a school in VGC. So that has been the movement, and every single step of the way, I've retained these nuggets that I call my relationship with God, my engagement with mentors and sponsors, professional colleagues who help me keep my wiring right, because you need them to just keep your brain functioning well, mentors who speak to you, coaches who speak to you, harnessing any opportunity I have to just give my best, because it's so, so important. Give your best. There's never a second opportunity to create the right impression. So if you're right there and you're still, I'll say a newbie in leadership, people are watching you. The way you manage the current role will determine where you go to. Now, let me talk about challenges as leaders. There are a lot of challenges. You come into a school environment, you're going to deal with culture. An existing culture is there. You're going to deal with the culture. How are you going to manage the culture? Are you the one going to think you're going to overhaul the culture overnight? No, you're not. You must study the culture you have met on the ground. What kind of people are there? What's their mindset? How are they like? What are they doing? How do they do their things? Their way of life. Now, you know yourself, how you live, how you think. Now, how are you going to work, engage in that cultural environment and still be able to drive the change that you want? Because you're obviously there to drive the change. You're there to implement great things. You're there to do great things. So you must understand you're going to find yourself at loggerheads with the culture. So it's all about self-awareness. Know yourself. Know the environment. Understand them. Then begin to create or draft ways of sharing the ideas that you have. Be ready for pushbacks, I can assure you. But with every single pushback, recoil, plan again, and approach them. I also talk about sharing benefits, and that's what many of us leaders fail to do. If you're trying to drive change in the system, you must first sell the benefits. Sell the benefits in alignment with the goals and objectives of the school. If you understand the core values, the goals and objectives of the system you're coming to work in, then whatever change you're bringing, align it with theirs. Sell the benefits of what you're bringing in helping them achieve that goal. They will embrace it. Another thing I'll mention is don't be quick to throw under the bus the successes they have. You must acknowledge their successes. You must acknowledge it. They're doing something right. That's why they're still existing. So celebrate their successes. Then find a way to point out areas where you think they need to improve on, and then see how you can build in what you have in mind into the system. It's a lot of work, but it's something that a lot of us must learn to do. I also talk about getting involved in budgeting and finances in school. Unfortunately, in our Nigerian system, so many school owners do not want their school leaders involved in that. But there's no way it's not going to come to your table. You have an idea of the budget, you have an idea of finances, may not be the whole picture. It also helps you to plan yourself. It also helps you, to draft your daily processes and align your plans, to help the school. So these are very important for us as as leaders. We must embrace all of this. So my learning journey my leadership journey has been great. It has been great, and I'll talk about the last 22 years has just been beautiful for me. It has been excellent. I've seen myself grow. I've seen myself cry. Yes, I have cried and I'm like, oh no, I got it wrong. How come I didn't get it right? What happened? And I go back to my professional colleagues. I go back to mentors and coaches, and I open up myself. I didn't get it right. And they're like, okay, fine, sit down, calm down. Let's change this. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And they help me think through my steps. And when I go back, I move on, I keep moving. So I would encourage us out there, please take responsibility for your leadership. The kind of team you want to build, it's your responsibility. You're the one to empower them. You're the one to help them. And please do not forget those individuals in your team who appear weak. I'll say appear weak as in quotes. Everybody has a place in your team. Mind you, there's some people that have to go, so please don't be afraid to let them go when they need to go. But the ones who appear weak, make allowances to groom them. Make allowances to train them. Make allowances to help them get better. It may mean reducing their workload. It may mean reassigning them to another role. Anything that can be done, and give them time to grow. But it's so important to empower people. So important to empower people. So I'll say a big thank you so much to ISED, Mrs. Issa, and our admin for giving me this opportunity. I hope I was able to give.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Can we give Miss Veronica a huge round of applause, virtual and, wow. Now you see why, we got her to come and share her story. It's really a story, an inspiring tale of personal, professional development against all odds, just going forward. I love what Adika said in the chat room. Put them in capability. If you attended the leading quality assurance, you know what that means. If you don't, you might want to attend that course. But honestly, thank you, V, for sharing. Thank you for giving us a story. And I really hope we took the meat of that message. Someone asked, and yes, we will share this recording. We'll post it in our different groups, but we'll share it on our YouTube page as well, so that we all remind ourselves we are in charge of our journeys, not anyone else, not any school and all, we're in charge. Having said that, I just want to take a quick minute to thank our school. That we have some school leaders and school directors and sponsors in the room who, like V said, have supported their school leaders or their teachers or their learning colleagues. I want to appreciate MD School for sponsoring the teachers to do their teacher training. We appreciate Ocean Crest for sponsoring their leaders, and we also appreciate the Pistis Empowerment Foundation for supporting the partner schools. So they have schools they partner with, and they did nominate and sponsor 2 school leaders for the programs. Thank you again, MD School. Thank you, Ocean Crest. Thank you, PEF, for all of that. And thank you to every single one who paid for their learning experiences. I'm one who has invested millions in personal professional development, and that has gotten me to where I am today. Yes, it involves a lot of sacrifice, where, you can't afford to buy this ashwabi or this bag or this something because you need to save up. Like Miss Modi said, we need to save up. You save up from the beginning of the year because there's one summer thing that's coming and you want to do that. You couldn't do it last year, so you want to do it this time. Thank you so much. I also want to appreciate Kids Court School. I don't want to miss that out, for sponsoring one of our participants as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not all our school sponsors, that is correct. However, you can tell those who are interested in, professional development, and it's a lot to juggle, like Veronica said, that budget, but we appreciate all the schools that sponsored their leaders and their teachers. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Okay, at this time, I believe we do have board members in the room as well. Thank you very much for sponsoring us. We appreciate our board members. Thank you for helping us get to this point. And I want to give a special recognition to our international student all the way from Liberia, who has been very diligent with his work. In fact, left to him, he would have taken like 4 courses at the same time. We had to say, wait, slow down. You won't be able to cope. There's a lot going on. And he's already signed up for another course. Tali, do you want to just say a quick hello? We acknowledge you. We recognize you all the way, joining us all the way from Liberia. Okay, he might not be able to unmute at this time.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Tali.
So I'm excited to be completing this first cohort that I've signed up for, and I'm so happy. Good thing is, someone who recommended the program to me is right here online, and that's
awesome.
Lois. That's Lois from Elevation Church. Okay. And I'm so grateful to her for the opportunity, and this learning experience has been really great. I mean, this is my first online course that I've done with so much work to do. And it was super amazing. It was super amazing over the last few weeks. And I'm looking forward to doing more like we've discussed. And I'm so excited. Congratulations to all of us who are rethinking how we do teaching and willing to impact the lives of young people who are coming up. So I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Tali, for sharing. Thank you for joining. And thank you to Lois for sharing that information with him. We really, really appreciate you. Okay, and now I really want to celebrate each and every person who's completed their course. So I'm going to go through the list and just celebrate everyone. You hear your name, feel free to show your face and wave and take all the accolade because you have done an amazing, amazing job. Okay, where are we? Can I start, Adrian? Okay, who do we celebrate first? Please join me and celebrate Olufunsho Charles Ikoabasi, who was part of the group that took leading quality assurance in schools in Africa. If you are in the room, let's see you. Congratulations for completing the program. Well done, well done. Is she here? Okay, I don't see her. All right. Okay, great. We see your video. Fantastic. Congratulations, Olufunsho. Next, we have Danisi Obemeta. Mr. Danisi pulled through. He pushed, and he would say, I'm sorry, I didn't finish my assignment. Let me finish it. We celebrate you, Mr. Danisi. Well done, well done, well done. Congratulations, congratulations. Next, we have Adikat, who had some crazy computer challenges and would send a message, my phone, this, and she would continue and push. Adikat right now is not feeling very well, but she's here. God bless you. Thank you for taking the class. Congratulations. Next, we have Grace, who was one of our student speakers. Thank you so much, Grace, for sharing your journey with us. It's been an amazing time of learning, and we really, really do appreciate you. Okay, next we move on to the Leading Pastoral Care in Schools course. And we have Funlola, who is an amazing advocate for safeguarding. She's working with schools around the country just to say, look, we can do things differently. Congratulations on completing the program. We celebrate you. We celebrate Ireti Gateka Ogbomo. Congratulations to you, who is a faculty member, but she chose to do a course as well to improve herself. So it's not just about, like Ms. Veronica said, it's not just about being a participant, but, you know, about saying, I'm a leader, I already know, but I can learn. And so we celebrate you, Ireti Gateka Ogbomo, for taking this course and completing it. We appreciate you. Okay, Nancy, again, one of our student speakers. Nancy was just phenomenal. Nancy would give her 1000%, submits all her work on time. And if she missed something, you would think, you know, the world has come to an end. Very diligent, and I know she'll be a valuable addition to her school. We appreciate you, Nancy. Well done. Congratulations. Okay, for the leadership courses now, the Understanding Leadership and Management, I mean, this team was just on fire. Every single person, they were challenging each other and inspiring each other. Congratulations on Molayo Akinola. Well done for getting to the end. If we can see you, say a wave. We appreciate you. Admin, if we remove the spotlights, we can see other people. We celebrate Ogoma. Congratulations for finishing this course. It has been a journey and a half, but we appreciate you. Well done for investing in your leadership and management. Well done for making that sacrifice. Congratulations. Okay, next we have Ife Oluwa Fawale. Congratulations, Ife, for making it through to the end. Ife would always make her office hours and say, I need to talk about something happening in my office right now. How do I apply this? And it was a beautiful thing. Congratulations, Ife Oluwa. Congratulations. Next we have Bemi Sola Irede Daniels, who will say she's nervous, but then you ask her to speak and she does an amazing job. Congratulations, Bemi Sola. Thank you for going on this journey with us. We appreciate you as one of our learning colleagues. Favor Erere. You know, when I first saw her surname, I thought, I Oyinbo, very interesting. Of course, I said it wrong. Favor, you have been an amazing participant in this group, bringing a perspective of patience when we were talking about knowing ourselves and seeing that you can be calm and yet firm. Congratulations, Favor, for completing the course. Okay, Adegbenga, you have been the quiet member of the group. Very quiet, very diligent to post his comments, a man of few words, but he's really, really added value to our class. Congratulations to all those who finished our leadership courses, and now to those who've been taking our teacher training courses that we have run in partnership with Optimus Education. Ijoma Ayodele, congratulations for completing the 2-week program, Differentiation in Practice. Well done. Next, we have Oluyinka Ogbegu. Congratulations. Well done for doing that program. Your commitment is appreciated. Your submissions, your videos, well done. Next, in the effective lesson planning, amazing course, lots of thinking. You know, I remember one of the comments where I wasn't the core faculty for this course. We appreciate Ms. Obi for leading this. And she said, one of the participants said, I think the problem of children, we, the teachers, are the problems. We don't know what we're doing very well, and sometimes we create problems for, you know, our students. And we all had a good laugh, but we acknowledge the fact that we need to improve ourselves. And so congratulations, Sharifat Salihu, for completing the course. Next we have Shola, yes. Akaisho, I hope I'm saying that right. Congratulations for completing the course, well done. Next, we have the Teacher Development Program. Yes, I led this course myself. Ifoma Elizabeth Abba, congratulations. Well done for finishing the course. Next, we have Janet. Yes, I remember seeing the name and I thought, oh, that's a unique name. Congratulations. Well done for all your research. Janet will research, added research and Google and drop it. And it was very fun to read. Thank you for adding your value to the course. Next, we have Shoyeye. Yes, Ayobami, that I always called Shoyeye. I finally got it right. Congratulations. Well done for being part of our program. Your contributions, amazing. Next, we have Tali, all the way from Liberia. Congratulations for completing the Teacher Development Program. Like we said, he wanted to do like 3 and we said, slow down. Oh, congratulations. Thank you for having us. Thank you for, inviting us on your learning journey. And the last teacher training course, we appreciate Ms. G, as we called her, Mrs. Gateka, for facilitating this one. Fumilayo, congratulations. We really, really, really appreciate you. Well done for going through. This is the metacognition was a really tough one. And we appreciate you for following through. And last but not the least, we have Shegun Olawusi. Congratulations for completing this program. Your questions, your contributions, all very, very deep and very relevant. Thank you to our faculty members, Ms. Gateka, Ms. Ogunlaja, Dr. England, Barrister Kinlami, Mrs. Nora Igono. Thank you so much for all that you have added to our program. We really, really, really appreciate you. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you. So much has happened. And we like to keep the time at ISED, and we say the ceremony will not go more than 90 minutes. So thank you everyone for being part of this journey. Honestly, it has been amazing. The contributions, the investment, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. I'm really feeling overwhelmed and grateful, for all of that. So thank you very much.